tur day uyu borom jasna pire soo ko bëggee fii si biir Gambia bi dawal foofu sa quality jasna your number one stop shop. Ana sama jigéen ñi dama bëgg ngeen jox ma seen nopp garme yi ndaxte quality jasna amal nañ leen ay til yu toj daala poos abaaya yu yiiw waaye it amal nañ leen ay boreda yu rafet boreda yoo xam ne pour góor ñi la ak pour jigéen ñi amal nañ leen body scrub yi nga xam ne nii dafay defar seen yaram bam nice waaye it fàttewuñ fa diw yi. Ana sama jeeg yu pare yi quality jasna amal nañ leen fa andi cuuraay yu neex house spray ak bépp xeetu baax pour seen biir néeg dama ne atum ren jii ku sa jëkkër mere ku ne yow la neex ndaxte quality jasna ñëw na si dëkk bi pour defar sëy yi. Makeup artist yi bàyyi leen gannaaw ñu ngi leen fa amal ay makeup product yu quality waxu leen léegi nii foofa sa Westfield jàkkaarloog monument bi wala nga jokkoo quality jasna si 250 0124 ak quality jasna taaral sa bopp taaral sa néeg waaye dëggal sa alaaji aas.
And meet with our students, our lovely students, and then our faculty members, but also our partners at MDI. And I think you've already introduced the high table. So I think I will go straight to the, to the beginning of this partnership with IUP, Indiana University of Pennsylvania, represented here by Dr. Michelle Petrucci, who is the Associate Vice President of International Education and Global Engagement and Executive Director of the Ali American Language Institute. And Dr. Prashant Barawai, who is the Interim Dean of Eberly College of Business and the Director of School of International Management. So welcome, Prashant and Michelle. Supdeco and IUP signed an MOU in 2021 in the middle of COVID. And we've been doing a lot of collaboration since the beginning of this partnership with IUP. And we've done a lot of actions. And I can see the students who went to IUP last year and who will be taking the floor in a while ago, Baba, Aji Ansha, and Alaji Sise. And today we are going to launch these double degree programs, which is going to give the students the chance to obtain globally recognized and accredited degrees from Indiana University of Pennsylvania in the US. And thanks to this double degree, the students will be, after completing 2 years at bachelor's level here in the Gambia, in Supdeco's program, and also in Senegal, they will have the chance to go and have 2 more years to get the bachelor's degree of IUP. So as you know, in the US, the bachelor's degree lasts 4 years. And for master's degree, they will also have the opportunity to get an MBA after only 1 year here in the Gambia and in Senegal. So I will let Michelle and Prashant talk more about this. Michelle will be introducing IUP and the school in general, the Ali, and Prashant will be talking more about the programs. So without further ado, I will give the floor to Mrs. Barry, who is Deputy Director General of MDI, for her welcome remark. Then Yasmin will be taking the floor for a few words about Supdeco Dakar and the partnership with MDI. Thank you very much.
Everyone, first on the high table, Michelle and Pashan, our colleagues and partners from Supdeco, Registrar MDI, Mr. Fati, Jundu Fati, Governing Council of the MDI Supdeco collaboration, other staff and colleagues from Supdeco and MDI. Present here, we have the heads of departments of the MDI, the lecturers on the Supdeco the lecturers on the Supdeco programs, students, and the media. Good morning to all of you. It is indeed a pleasure to have Michelle and Passan here in the Gambia from Indiana University, Pennsylvania. Just to give you a quick background on MDI, Management Development Institute, MDI, it's a civil service college. It was established in 1982 by an act of parliament to act as a public service college for the government or the public service. And we've been doing that over the years since we were established, offering training programs for civil servants. And then along the line, some years from now, we then commence offering degree programs, certificate classes rather, and diplomas. And then recently we run in 2 years programs on national diploma and higher national diploma. This is what we are doing here in the Gambia. Since 2019, we entered into a collaboration with Supdeco, and for the last 5 years, a lot has been achieved in the area of degree programs and master's program. And then it has been very, very beneficial for both partners. But I just want to pick on one main benefit that MDI has achieved from this collaboration. And that is 2 of our staff have achieved their degree programs and of course masters through this collaboration. And I think that's a huge, huge achievement. That's just on the MDI side, achievement on MDI side. And nationally, a lot has been achieved because we all know the benefit of education. And then bringing these programs to the doorsteps of Gambians through the collaboration with Supdeco, a lot of Gambians have also graduated. Just last year in October, we observed the defense of thesis of master students. And I was very, very much impressed because I stayed throughout the program. And that just shows us what manpower is going into the workforce of the Gambian, the Gambia sector, both private and public. So education, of course, has a lot of benefits. And then Michelle and Passan being here this morning to do what we call an additional dressing on an existing program. Because I believe that education or curriculums, once they are designed, they need to be, reviewed regularly. That's important. And then at the same time, education being very vast should be brought out of the classroom. And this is what you're bringing to the students of the Supdeco, of course, in collaboration with MDI. The double degree program that is being launched today would give students the opportunity to explore different culture, of course, in different countries, different values, and different methods of teaching. Those are the expansion that one would always want to experience in any learning institution. So this is a great move, very thoughtful. We're happy to have you, and I'm sure it would be very, very exciting for the students of enroll on these programs, particularly the master's and the degree program, having to do 2 years in the Gambia, and then having that opportunity to complete another 2 years in Indiana University in the USA. And of course, a 1-year degree program in a 1-year master's program in the Gambia, and at the same time having the opportunity to complete their 2nd year in the US. So this would really, really be an eye-opener. And of course, I'm sure the curriculum would continue to be the same, maybe with some little addition to the curriculum, but most importantly, the exposure to a different country who has a different culture and of course the values of the education institution. It's a great initiative. And I say thank you very much. On behalf of my Director General, Mr. Aliou Jaju, we say welcome to the Gambia for the first time you're here. But I'm sure when I saw you being welcomed by Baba and Alaji Sise, I know this is home for you, particularly Michelle, having had interacted with them when they visited Indiana University. Welcome, and I wish you a fruitful stay in the Gambia. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Mr. Abdufai, our country director, our country rep here, and his entire team for this organization and for this beautiful decoration. Thank you, Abdu. And also thank you, UTG, for hosting us in this beautiful hall. Yasmin, over to you.
For the good collaboration with all the team from Mr. Jaju and Mrs. Bariki, Adama, and all the staff, NTI staff. So first, I want to just greet as well the Governing Council with Mr. Fati, who represent the Governing Council, the staff from NDI who came for this launch. As well, I've seen also our alumni from Supdeco. Hi guys, yeah, and the students, the teachers, and Abdu and his staff Sherry for organizing all this activity. So, first of all, activities we have in Senegal. Supdeco is an international business school, international one. We believe that I have to say it's compulsory to be open to the world, and our students should benefit of all our collaboration around the world. I was 10 years ago the international relations directors at Supdeco. I have to. Yeah. So at that time we had like 10 collaboration around the world. Now we have more than 50 collaboration around the world. We have students who are going to Korea, South Korea. Some are going to China. Others are going in France, in Switzerland, in the US, everywhere in the world. And when they came back from those experiences, they are just changed, another mindset. And they contribute to the development of Senegal and West Africa. Supdeco is more than 30 nationalities coming from all Africa. And that's why it was important for us, for our students in the Gambia, to get as well all this international network we have. So thank you. I want first to thank Michelle for her vision and Prasha. For the story, I've met Michelle. She was my mentor, international relations at NAFSA. I was a global fellow 5 years ago. And I went to the NAFSA. NAFSA is the biggest international network from Director of International Relations in the world. More than, I think, 3,000 universities who are going in the US for a big fair, big event. And I worked with Michelle. She was my mentor at that time. And I said, Michelle, look, we have to do something together. And 2 years after, we signed this collaboration with IUP. And what is interesting with this collaboration is that it's a joint collaboration. So students will benefit it because the cost first is 10 times or 15 times cheaper than in the US, because you stay in Senegal or in the Gambia because you have the same program in Senegal. And you will have the course, you will see teachers coming from IUP. And after that, you're going to the US to finish your degree. So it's we think that the education of tomorrow is that type of education. You are in your country, you are open to the world, and after it's important. We guess that it's important. We think that it's important to have as well the international state of to be open to the international, to all the globalization. So what I can say maybe from Supdeco. You all know Supdeco. Supdeco this year we are celebrating our 30 years of expertise, experience in higher education in West Africa and Africa, because we have students coming from all over Africa, Gabon, Djibouti, Comores, Gambia, and other countries in Africa. So just a few words to say that we think that this partnership, we have many others with Francophone universities, business school, but with the US, it's a new type of collaboration we had, because now as well, US universities are getting, more open to Francophone countries, because before that, US universities had many collaboration with Anglophone countries, but less with Francophone one. So in Senegal, we have collaboration with as well IUP, and just to finish and add that we believe that multilingualism as well, it's a way to develop our economies. That's why we settle in the Gambia with MDI, because we think that French, English, having those both languages is a great opportunity for our students and to contribute to the development of West Africa. So I will let as well my colleague from IUP to get more in depth about the content of the programs and the opportunities you will have. But thank you, the Gambia, thank you, MDI, for everything, because we are here in our house. In Wolof, ñoo ngi sunu kër. I said in Wolof some words, and we are really happy, really grateful for your hospitality. Thank you.
Former Director of International Relations. Thank you, Yasmin, for making it easy for me to take over international relations. We have more than 50 international partners all around the world, but every collaboration is unique, like the one we have with IUP, the one we have with MDI. Some have become friends and even families. Adama always checks on my family, and I always do so. So thank you for this unique partnership with MDI. So Michelle and Prashant will be presenting, so they have their PowerPoint ready. Unfortunately, for those sitting in this side, you'll not be able to see much, but don't worry. I have asked.
Pleasure to be here in the Gambia. As everyone has said, I'm Dr. Michelle Petrucci. And first, I would like to thank all the esteemed members of the High Table and also the esteemed guests and scholars for taking time to come and talk to us and hear about IUP and our relationship with Supdeco and MDI. It's a pleasure to be here. This is my first visit to the Gambia, but I feel like I have family here already a little bit, and it's my first time to Senegal. But I lived in Botswana and South Africa for 6.5 years, and I've had the chance to go to Tanzania and to Ghana and a lot of Southern African countries. So I really love and am invested in our institution building relationships in sub-Saharan Africa, relationships that are mutually beneficial and that will be sustainable for a long time. So thank you all for being here to learn about IUP. And of course, I'm happy to answer questions. So our name is a little confusing, I think, for some people who know the United States. Indiana University of Pennsylvania, our town is called Indiana. It's a small town north of Pittsburgh, but we are in the state of Pennsylvania, which is near Canada and New York, the state of New York and New Jersey. So I'm going to give you a little map also. So all are welcome for the state of Pennsylvania. This is Pennsylvania, how our state looks. And Pennsylvania is one of the top host states in the United States for international students and scholars. California, New York, Texas, Pennsylvania, Florida, we're in the top 5 or 10. So IUP, Indiana University of Pennsylvania, we call it IUP. As a college of education to train teachers, and then over the decades became a full university with humanities, social sciences, natural sciences, business, et cetera, et cetera. So we are a full university, and we have around just over 8,000 students and over 500 international students from over 60 countries. We've had very few to have more on our campus. And there are a really good faculty-student ratio, one professor to 19 students typically in a class. And as you can see, there are many clubs and outside activities that students can get involved with. Our town is small, but we have an active mosque that's only maybe 3 kilometers from campus. And on our campus, we also have a very active Muslim student association. So people can feel very welcome and safe in our community. So academics, we have 5 colleges for you. Most of you, the most important is the College of Business, which Dr. Prashant is going to talk about after I'm finished. But graduate majors, nearly over 35 master's programs, and right now we have 10 doctoral programs. Some are PhDs and some are DEDs, Doctors of Education. So you see the United States up top, and then down here, if you can see, the red is Pennsylvania. We are on the western side of Pennsylvania. So if you know Pennsylvania, there's Philadelphia. Philadelphia is famous usually, and Pittsburgh is on the other side. We're about an hour from Pittsburgh. Our location is, I'll leave it to my lovely alumni who visited us last year, but it's a small town, it's a small community, but it's convenient to many places of big cities and natural historical sites in the United States. So when we say, it's like 6 hours to New York City, for those of you who have not been to the US, it's pretty close, very close, because to drive to California will take over 40 hours. It's such a big country. So our weather, we have 4 seasons, and we definitely have snow, and it can get quite cold in the winter, but the good thing is we are equipped for that kind of weather. We have central heating throughout our houses, our cars can handle the weather, our tires, they clean the roads well, all that kind of things. But sometimes if it's very cold or much snow, school can be closed. Sometimes university too, but not too often. And so we can have all the experiences you've seen maybe in a movie about America. And there's some pictures of them playing in the snow, having snowball fights. These are pictures of our campus. You can see our campus. And you can see we have 138 hectares and over 70 buildings. This is part of the main area where people live that decide to live on campus. Only about 25%, 20 to 25% of students live on campus. And I would recommend for many of you that are considering to live off campus, the price is cheaper to live off campus, and you'll be older students, so you'll want to have a little bit more freedom. There is off-campus housing within walking distance of our university. So these are just some pictures from some events. This event, they do it every springtime, which is usually in April, where they have students do a competition of drawing on this, it's called Chalk on the Walk, and they do political, artistic, different expressions with chalk. And then we have a big International Unity Day. And those are some colleagues from, are they from Tanzania or Uganda? From Tanzania. We have, in the United States, it's unique, I think, in the world that athletics are part of the university. It's complicated, and I have mixed feelings, but we have American football, we have baseball, of course, basketball, swimming, tennis, golf, and some are for men and some are for women. We have women's football, soccer, but we do not have men's soccer on our campus. And we have a mascot. Most universities have mascots. We have called the Crimson Hawk. So I just brought up about immigration, which is complicated and can be very stressful. But with students who come to IUP through this program, they will be issued an I-20 document. It's an immigration document that is used to apply at the US Embassy for an F1 visa. F is in Frank. And that visa allows you to study for the duration and enter the United States. And when you complete your program, depending on which program you're on, you get 1 year of work permission in the United States or up to 3 years if it's a STEM designated, science, technology, engineering, management? What's M? Mathematics. Oh my gosh. My background is humanities and arts, so sometimes I forget. I'm a big supporter of STEM and STEAM, but sometimes I forget the M. So, and for many people, the F1 visa is a non-immigrant visa, but there are pathways eventually, depending on if an employer is interested in sponsoring you and the different opportunities that arise. So we also want people to return to their country, the Gambia or to Senegal, to share their knowledge and to keep the relationship with IUP, but it can go either way. There are some people who come for a few years and then return. Some people stay forever. Many people return to their home country. So there's just different opportunities. So this is my office, the Office of International Education. So we have one central office that handles partnerships, relationships. We send American students to come and study overseas. We invite international students to our office, and we have events and different opportunities. So these are quick. I'm just going to show you some pictures of my office area. So some of these for Baba and Cisse, Monsieur. Oh. And there are many resources on our website. The OIE resources, the IUP website is quite comprehensive and has much information. But our office does not handle admissions, but we work with the Office of Admissions, so we can direct people. We also have the American Language Institute, which is an intensive English language and American culture program that I also oversee. And we also have something called the Skill Zone. The Skill Zone is, I'll show you as we go through, I'll show you some pictures. So we have a large computer lab. And so the American Language Institute, ALI, is for people that have English for academic purposes goals. They may be true beginners. We've had people who don't even know ABC to quite advanced, people who want to go into doctoral programs and just need to work on academic writing or research. So we have different opportunities there. This is one of our classrooms. Our library for resources for the instructors. All of our instructors have at least a master's degree. They have completed a master's degree. Some of them have doctoral degrees. And then the Skill Zone is a special program we created about 12 years ago to support all international students, whether they were at the ALI or they were master's, doctoral students. It is 4 days a week for 6 hours a day. It's open to come and have tutoring sessions, to use the computer lab, to do test prep and practice. Imagine you are doing a undergraduate program at IUP and you want to go for a master's where there is a GRE requirement. You can come and practice for the GRE in our lab. We also run social programs called Conversation Corner, where people get together with native speakers and non-native speakers to have fun, play cards, play games, you'll see, paint, do pumpkins at Thanksgiving, not Thanksgiving, Halloween. Halloween, we do celebrations. And these I just wanted to highlight. We have had 2 big grants through the US Department of State, through the College of Education in my office for 8 years. And we have not had any Gambians participate. The Gambian government and the US government do not partner on these programs, but we have had Senegalese scholars on these programs. So three gentlemen in this picture were at IUP in 2017. And then this became the Fulbright program, if those of you who have heard of the Fulbright program. And then one person from Senegal was in the 2019 group, and 1,000 in the 2021 group and 2022 group. So we've had 7 Senegalese in the last 8 years, and it's been a wonderful program. So just a few program pictures to show our first engagement with the students coming to IUP through Supdeco and MDI. This was a photo of the group going to Niagara Falls, which is about 5 hours from IUP. They, I believe, had a wonderful time. And then they went to a baseball game, although there were problems with the bus, I think. And then we had graduation. And on the bottom picture, they went with Dr. Bardwaj to the Walmart Distribution Center near Washington, D.C. And then we had a nice graduation celebration, end of program on campus. Again, our town is quite convenient. Our university and town are next to each other. You can walk, you can take the free bus. It is affordable in our town, and when you have holidays or vacation, it's a good chance to go to other places, but it's always wonderful to return to Indiana, Pennsylvania, in this small community that supports you. So within 2 hours, I just wanted to show we have some state parks that are really nice to visit. Pittsburgh, you can also, if you're interested to try snow skiing, you can go. Pittsburgh, we have many museums. It's a beautiful city. This picture is Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh has lots of rivers and bridges. And these are some famous sites around Pittsburgh as well, and students that have gone with us on these programs. And then coming in the fall, we have some big groups coming from Mexico, from India, our sponsored programs again. And then we have a big International Unity Day event during International Education Week. So if anyone, we would like to welcome you, whether you're an esteemed colleague and guest or a student. If you're in the area, please come to our events. We would love to have you and host you. Thank you so much. And this is one of our mottos for IUP. Our town is Indiana. Our state is Pennsylvania. Our span is the entire world. We have alumni all over the world, and we would love to have more from the Gambia. Thank you very much.
Doing wonderful job since the beginning of the collaboration. Thank you, Adama. And then later, we think it's a very good idea to set up this governing council in which we have people from academia, we have people from the private sector, like Mr. Jundu Fati, people from universities, and they have been, helping us very well in designing programs and improving the program. Thank you so much for being with us. Now, Prashant, you're going to tell us more about this 2+2 and 1+1 program.
Again, let me add my thanks to all the administrators from Supdeco and MDI for hosting us. We have had a great time in Senegal, and we are having a great time in the Gambia. Again, my name is Prashant Bharadwaj. I'm the interim dean of the Eberle College of Business. Dr. Michelle Petrucci talked about IUP in general and how we have been a university or a college for 148 years now. And I'm going to focus on the business school, the Eberle College of Business. Before I do that, how many of you students want to study in the US? A lot of you, good. How many of you want to work in the US? Right? And this is what we are here to make it happen. A little bit about my background. As you can tell, I'm originally from India. but I've lived in the United States for 35 years, out of which 30, close to 30 years at IUP. And when I came to IUP, I said I'm going to be here for 1 year and leave, because I grew up in a city of 10 million people in India. And I went to college in the US, in New York City, close to New York, which also has 20 million people. Then I go to IUP, which has 50,000 people in Indiana, small town. So my wife and I, we said we are going to spend a year here and leave. But I am there, this is my 30th year, not because I didn't find another job, because I fell in love with Indiana and IUP. And for those of you who raised your hand and said you want to study in the US, it's mind-boggling to figure out, to decide where to go in the US. There are about 2,000 universities in the US. So how do you decide where to go? Unless you are really smart and have the money to go to a Harvard or a Princeton and so on, then if you leave those cream 50 universities in the country, then there are about 250 universities in the second tier of universities and business schools. We are in that category. And I want you to put that in perspective. The top 300 out of 2,000 business schools in the country, which is the top 15% of the business school. And yeah, thank you. And this is my slogan for IUP, which I've used all over the world, which is a small school environment, but big school opportunities. What do I mean by that? Small school environment, Dr. Michelle told you, the faculty to student ratio is 1:19. In some upper level classes, you have 1:14, 15 students, which means you will get to know the faculty very well. You will get to know your colleagues, your students, your peers very well. And you are not going to be sent to some office if you need help or advice. Your faculty will take charge of that. And Dr. Petrucci's office, which is Office of International Education, will take good care of you. If you go to a university which has 50,000 students, they will not care about you. You will be a drop in the ocean. Whereas IUP, you are not. So that is the small school environment. What about the big school opportunities? You have students from India, from China, from Saudi Arabia, from Palestine, Germany, France, Kenya, on, and now Senegal and the Gambia. We are having students from all over the world with whom we can interact. You don't get that in schools which are smaller than us. The other thing is our alumni have worked in Google to Apple in the IT industry, JP Morgan Chase to Citibank in the financial industry, General Motors to BMW in the automotive industry. So any industry you take, we have our alumni working there. That connection you're going to have if you have the degree from IUP. And that's so important. Those of you in business understand the networking. The power of networking is very important. That is what we bring to the table at IUP. So that is in a nutshell why I would say IUP and the Eberly College of Business are great places for you to study and subsequently find a job. So I have a few slides here. Since many of you cannot see that, I will not spend a whole lot of time on that. We have about 1,500 students. Dr. Michelle mentioned we have about 8,000 in the entire university, and which includes science, math, education, fine arts, and business. In the business school, we have 1,500. And you may wonder, what is that Eberly College of Business? Eberly is the family name of a very philanthropic and rich family, which has given us millions of dollars. So you can imagine if a family is giving you money as a business school, how much confidence they have in the business school. One thing I want to mention from the slide is I think Yasmin touched upon that topic, or somebody else mentioned. We provide you hands-on experience. What we teach is not just theory. I teach supply chain management. I use case studies from all over the world. I use case studies from China, from Japan. I use Balor Logistics. Have you heard of that? Balor Logistics, which is a big company, a French company, which is in all over Africa. So we use case studies not just from the US. So by the time you graduate, you will have the experience and the knowledge of how business functions all over the world. One example I'll give you. We have something called the Student Managed Investment Portfolio. How many of you like finance, accounting, economics? So I see many hands there. In our university, the management of the university has given our students $2 million of real money. Put that in perspective, $2 million of real money. Our students in finance, accounting, and economics are investing that, just like the professionals in Wall Street Journal do. Okay, so this is not, a lot of other universities, they use simulation and fictitious money. We don't do that. We have the ability for the students to do exactly what they would do after they graduate while they are in the bachelor's and MBA programs. These students get the jobs before they graduate, and they make lots of money. Same thing we do in marketing, in human resources, in supply chain management, international business, entrepreneurship and small business management. Any discipline you want to go into, you are assured of this hands-on experience, not just the theory. You get the practical knowledge, which you can utilize without much training when you go into the workforce. That is what employers like about the students and the education we provide at IUP. And we are accredited by AACSB. You may not be familiar with that. That is the Association to Advance Collegiate Schools of Business. In the US, I told you there are 2,000 schools of business. In the world, there are 15,000. And out of that 15,000, only 6% are accredited by AACSB. Even within the US, only 20 to 24%. What does that mean to you? What it means is, number one thing, what is the most important aspect of an educational enterprise? Students, what is most important in an educational enterprise? Faculty, teachers. You all agree? You may have beautiful infrastructure, you may have great curriculum, but if you don't have good teachers, it is not good enough to be a university or a business school. So AACSB, the number one thing they do is they come and audit us. Every year we have to give a report. Every 5 years they come and look at our credentials of our faculty. We have 40 plus faculty members teaching business. Every one of them has a PhD. My PhD is 30 years old. So I'm qualified, but not necessarily current. So what they do is they come and look at what I did in the last 5 years only. What I did 6, 8 years back is irrelevant. So what did I do in the last 5 years? Did I publish papers? Did I present papers in conferences? Did I consult with companies? Did I write case studies? They look at me and every one of the 40 to 45 faculty members. If they're not current in their field, they cannot come and teach in the classroom. So what I'm assuring you is faculty who are not only qualified, but also very current in their fields. So that is number one. Second thing they look at is our curriculum. Are we updating our curriculum every year? Every semester? They look at our syllabi, all of those things, and they also look at infrastructure, library, on and on. So if you are AACSB accredited, that means you are learning in a good institution under the guidance of good faculty. There are a lot of accolades here. I don't have time to talk about that, but you can go on our website and you will see that we have been in the top 300, top 50, top 200 of business schools out of 2,000. Please don't forget that. So we are in the top 10 to 15%. One thing I will mention in this is Money Magazine. In the US, Money Magazine is a consumer's delight. It tells you whether you want to buy a car or a computer or go to a university. Is it good value? Is it average value? Poor value? So not only are we offering good quality, but at an affordable price, which is very, very critical. Again, a couple of slides about our faculty. I cannot do justice by showing their pictures, but if you go on our website, you can see their credentials. You can see what they have been doing. And another thing I'll mention is we have faculty from all over the world. We have from China, we have from Indonesia, we have Australia, India, Bangladesh, Jordan, Iraq, Mali, and many, many other countries. And not only that, our faculty are well-traveled. I have been in 70 different countries around the world, not just to go sightsee, but to understand business, to make presentations. So we understand what is happening all around the world, which is very critical for a faculty member to bring to the classroom. Program outline, again, we'll be happy to answer questions. Everybody has mentioned, you will spend 1 year in Senegal or the Gambia, and the second year in Indiana University of Pennsylvania if you are in the MBA program. If you want to be in the undergraduate program, you will spend 2 years in the Gambia or Senegal and then come to IUP for 2 years. And that is very cost effective. You will not be paying for housing and the tuition at the American rates for 50% of your degree. So that is a big advantage of this program. We have worked with Supdeco to map all the curriculum. So you don't have to worry about anything. You will be coached or mentored here of what to take. And once you come to the US, you will know exactly what classes to take. And this shows you the curriculum, which I don't need to go into a lot of detail. And then you can also specialize. I already told you the different areas: finance, marketing, supply chain, business analytics, and so on. And then I've highlighted there 2 areas which already Dr. Michelle mentioned as STEM: science, technology, engineering, and math. So you may wonder, business management doesn't come under STEM. But fortunately, the US CIS has agreed that there are a couple of areas which are heavy in math and technology. That is supply chain management, business analytics. They are designated as STEM, even in the business school, and we offer that. And what is the advantage of having a STEM degree? I think Dr. Petrucci said that. Instead of being granted 1 year extension of visa as a student to work in the US, you will be able to work for 3 full years without worrying about changing your visa status. So what does that mean? I have been able to advise literally thousands of international students, and they are so happy to have the STEM designation. Because if I'm an employer, I don't want to hire somebody who has visa for only 1 year. But if they have for 3 years, I would be more inclined to hiring them. So the job opportunities for you will go up, the salaries go up, and I have known that if you want to immigrate to Canada, to Australia, New Zealand, countries where they use a point system, if you have a STEM degree, you get higher points. So there are a lot of advantages with a STEM degree. Even without going with a computer science or something like that, you can get a STEM degree in the business school. And the last, probably one of the last slides I have, we believe in making you a well-rounded business professional. We will make you an expert in finance, marketing, supply chain, and so on. But in addition, your communication skills will go up. Not just standing up and talking with a PowerPoint, but how to run a meeting, how to write a powerful email, how to write a project report, how to listen. Very important part of communication. So all of these we will teach you with case studies, role playing, and so on. We will make sure that you will become a global citizen. You are not just going to be understanding about the US or West Africa. You can work in West Africa, you can work in the US, you can work in Europe, anywhere you want, but you will have a global mindset, a cross-cultural understanding when you have our degree. You will be well-versed with technology. Today, if you have a business degree, if you cannot work with software like Excel, Tableau, and so on, you are not good enough for the industry. So we will make sure you are good in all that. Ethical values, social responsibility, every one of these we address, so that when you come out of a business school, it is not just about dollars. Okay? Money is important, right? Money is not number one, but it is second to nothing. That's what we say in business. So we teach you how to do well when it comes to money. But in addition, we will also make sure you do that in an ethical and responsible and a sustainable way. So we have a very well-rounded degree, which you'll be very happy with. And finally, like we have all said, it's a double degree from Supdeco and IUP, 2+2 at the undergraduate, 1+1 at the MBA level, STEM options. Also, if you want to study in one of our other partner universities, Dr. Petrucci's office can make that happen. Okay, but it is a little bit more involved, but I'm just letting you know that we have partnerships all around the world. So you can go to other third country in addition to the US for a semester if you're interested. And the career opportunities are going to be for you in the US, West Africa, and beyond. And the last one is the most important thing, which is a distinguishing factor, which is if you come to the US to get the same degree, same faculty, same curriculum, same opportunities, you will be paying 2 to 3 times more money. This is at 50 to 60% discount, thanks to the collaboration that Dr. Michelle Petrucci and many of the leaders in IUP have worked out with Supdeco and other universities around the world. So we are bringing that to you, a high quality business education, and of course, if you're interested in other areas, but at an affordable cost. We have had the experience of doing this in many regions of the world, and I'm very excited. Dr. Petrucci mentioned that she is committed to Africa, sub-Saharan Africa. I lived in Tanzania as a young boy when my dad was an expatriate there, and I love the culture. And we have had students from Nigeria and Ghana, a lot of them, and I would love to have a lot of students from the Gambia and Senegal in the near future. So thanks to all of you for listening to this, and good luck to all of you.
I would like just to add also visa support, because it can be very tricky to, to fill out this DS-160 form and everything. That's why we have this team who will be supporting those students who want to apply for visa. And that's why also we have this partnership with the US embassies everywhere. And tomorrow we're meeting the US embassy in Senegal to talk about the program and to talk about how they can support and make it easy for our students to get their visa very easily. Prashant, you mentioned faculty, the importance of faculty, and I would like to give special thanks to our faculty members at Supdeco Banjul campus. I can see Dr. Obasi here, Austrian, and all the others who have been doing wonderful job since the start of the program here in the Gambia. Thank you so much, Dr. Obasi, and all the faculty members at Supdeco Dakar and in the Gambia. Okay, before getting to the Q&A, question and answers, I would like to call maybe Alaji or Baba to say a couple of words about their experience at IUP.
To describe my excitement and admiration, that flow in me after the wonderful trip to US, in Pennsylvania in particular. I can say it's one of my unforgettable trips, done by me. That is going to a completely different environment, where culture is different from ours. But I gained a lot of experience, both academically and then culturally. The management of IUP welcomed us with a lot of caring and professionalism, especially at the international students, at the international student department. We were picked up at the airport by the team leader, Daniel Petrov, also known as Dan, from Pittsburgh Airport. The environment at IUP is very conducive. It's different from the impression that most of us have about America. Most of us might have the impression that America is all about crime and all other things. But I see a different environment at India, especially at the Indiana University of Pennsylvania. Yeah, the place is conducive, calm, and then very, 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 very conducive for learning environment. Yeah, okay. We have so many exciting cultural excursions, like a trip to Pittsburgh. We also went to watch a baseball game, Altoona baseball game. That was one of our weekends. The last excursion was at the Niagara Falls in New York City, where a fountain separates New York, US with Canada. It was a very interesting moment for us. Okay. There are so many sections at the university. The lecturers are very friendly, amazing, and they make sure that everyone is in line. If you are below the line, or if you are below or behind a little bit, they make sure that you catch up to where people are. I thank the lecturers and then the staff of IUP very well. In this thing, I'm so much emotional because I see part of IUP management coming to the Gambia to meet me, to meet us, and then forming a collaboration as we did. We are a living example of those of the students that's supposed to go to US. You will be in good hand, as Dr. Michelle and others are here. Please, I thank you. And then this will be a very good collaboration between Supdeco, Banjul, and then Indiana University of Pennsylvania. If you go in for the program, I'm sure you will not regret for it. I thank you all for your attention.
Initiative. It's like us sitting here already seeing ourselves inside the Pennsylvania University. So what I want to add up is, now, considering the fact that MDI also has courses that we are offering, similar courses like finance, we are also doing finance, and we are having management. So we are seeing also international relations. So these are focuses that we would see how best we can also collaborate with MDI to see if you can waive our courses. That's if there's a possibility to waive our courses from MDI to join the Supdeco University straight to Pennsylvania University, if this is possible. So our students could also have the opportunity, and the international relations, if it could be included as well. So I think generally most of the students here, this is one question that they want to ask. And if need be, banking and finance, international relations, management, if it could be considered inside the courses that you're offering, it would be fantastic. In fact, great for all of us. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I saw a hand over here. Okay. With our partners at MGI, and obviously this is a path for you during this postgrad. Are you at postgrad level, right? Postgrad, you take postgrad at MGI? High national diploma. Okay, high national diploma, and then you can join the program at Supdeco, and then for the course, also we're gonna talk about it with Yasmin and the secretary of MDI and all that stuff, and we'll do something definitely for you guys. Don't worry about it. Okay.
ku yoddu sa xët te quality jas na ñoo yor seen cumbukaay tur day uyu borom jas na pire soo ko bëggee fii si biir Gambia bi dawal foofu sa quality jas na your number one stop shop. Ana sama jigéen ñi dama bëgg ngeen jox ma seen nopp garme yi ndaxte quality jas na amal nañ leen ay til yu toj daala poos abaaya yu yiiw waaye it amal nañ leen ay boreda yu rafet boreda yoo xam ne pour góor ñi la ak pour jigéen ñi amal nañ leen body scrub yi nga xam ne nii dafay defar seen yaram bam nice waaye it fàttewuñ fa diw yi. Ana sama jeeg yu pare yi quality jas na amal nañ leen fa andi cuuraay yu neex house spray ak bépp xeetu baax pour seen biir néeg. Dama ne atum ren jii ku sa jëkkër mere ku ne yow la neex ndaxte quality jas na ñëw na si dëkk bi pour defar sëy yi. Makeup artist yi bàyyi leen gannaaw ñu ngi leen fa amal ay makeup product yu quality waxu leen léegi nii foofu sa Westfield jàkkaarloog monument bi wala nga jokkoo quality jas na si 250 01 24 ak quality jas na taaral sa bopp taaral sa néeg waaye it bégal sa alaaji aas.